Look. Oh, look at the shoes. Look. Fendi, like the bag. This is the I Refuse podcast. Hey everybody, it's Mr. Fox of the I Refuse podcast. We are back for another week of shenanigans. You really can't at this point go 2 days without some stuff to make you go, or some stuff to make you wonder, damn, what's the wait time on the Meteor? Like, is it shorter than the wait time with, like, social services or, the hospital or the insurance company or any place where you give them money every month? Like, they take your money every month without issue, but when it's time for you to ask for something back, they take all day. Like, it it's crazy. So, I want to get the bittersweet stuff out of the way. Ray recently had Greg Leaks' homegoing at Nene Leaks' Lanithia Lounge. Had a really great turnout. It was very nice to see that Kenya, Phaedra, Marlo, Ava, and Shamia were there. It was actually pretty interesting to see Kenya, Marlo, and Phaedra in the same picture. Which, by the way, have you noticed that Phaedra has got the K Michelle tune up? I'm not mad. I mean, she looking very Danity Kane-ish, and I'm here for it. Like, looking, making the band album to RBO Day tune up, looking pretty good. She got a tune up. K Michelle looks really good, and Tori Spelling looking more like Chloe Spelling. But nevertheless, it was nice to see that they were able to come together at least uh, for a homegoing. Because Greg Leaks. For there's a lot of us out there that are huge fans of Atlanta Housewives. Me in particular. Greg Leaks was like everybody's favorite house husband, so to speak. Um, you know, Nene is one of the original OGs. Came in on the first season, and it was only up from there, right? So, with her position on the show or association with her, we've been able to see them their relationship navigate from humble beginnings on the show to her going to Hollywood. The two of them with Nene's oldest son and his stuff, the divorce, and then the remarriage. Like, he's never, like, through all that, he's never been less. Never been less supportive, never been less loyal. There was that one thing where, he had said some stuff on the air. No big deal. But he's essentially like the best. He essentially was the best house husband on the entire series. And that's like not any shade to the other husbands in like Beverly Hills or whatever. But always had her back. Even going against Peter, for Peter stepping into the women business, showing his Patricia ways, and seeing such a huge turnout at his going away, his homegoing, is a testament to how amazing he was. And it's unfortunate that Nene is no longer on the show. especially during this time where, things are kind of shaky still over there. Like, this is probably, in the entire run of the show, this is probably the longest they have gone without taping. They usually have this part with the cast like done and ready to go by summertime. Now here it is. We're about to get halfway through September, and it's looking like they have six ladies, but there hasn't been a confirmation yet. Um, I don't know what it's going to look like for Nene in the future. My heart goes out to her. My heart goes out to their son. Um, I know Bryson is her oldest, but the son that she has with Greg, and then Greg's other children, older children. Um, Greg has had a lengthy cancer battle, and it's such a shame that there was no way for him to pull through. Like for me, I know personally for me, when I see somebody that's battling something, whether it's somebody close to me or it's like a celebrity that I have a connection with through music or through their acting or whatever, and and you're aware of a battle that they're going through, I always champion. I'm like, I really want them to get through this. I really want them to bounce back and be fine. And then it just breaks my heart when they don't, or they can't, or there was something else calling them to come home. And Great Leaks is no exception to that rule. The turnout and see some of the women come through and support and love of Nene and Greg. About the latest announcement with the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars, they have released the full list of names. Now, it's a mixed bag. I think they have an Olympic athlete as part of the cast. They have one of the Peloton instructors part of the cast. He's pretty funny, pretty sassy, really entertaining. I don't know his name, but he had been popping up on like memes and various TikToks that people created. Uh, Trying to think what he was talking about. There was one circulating for months where he was talking about sweating or food or something, and everybody turned that into like different variations of a meme. Then there's I think Mike the Miz, who's a wrestler or former wrestler that's retired. I haven't watched wrestling since Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant days, but I have a friend of mine that follows wrestling, so maybe he can give me the 411. Kenya from Atlanta Housewives is going to be on Dancing with the Stars. I'm excited about that because I love seeing anybody black really just on Dancing with the Stars, specifically black women. Tamar, Patti LaBelle, Amber Riley, love them all. And I know Kenya's going to eat that up. I just know it. She's active. She's physically active. She works out. Although I've never seen her actually like move, as long as she's been on Atlanta Housewives or as long as she's been an actress of some kind. I don't know if that's enough. I don't know if her alone is enough for me to watch the show, and I'm going to tell you why. So another person that stuck out for me on this long list was Olivia Jade. Now, any article you read will have her. They will spin it as she is like a social media influencer. But if you remember a couple of years ago, Olivia Jade, I believe, was the main person or one of several high school age girls that was caught up in the college admission scandal. I believe Olivia Jade is the one whose parents were Aunt Becky from Full House, Laura McLaughlin, and her husband, Vital Missimo, Mussolini, Chocolate Mousse. I don't know. I don't know the guy's name, but yeah. So it's interesting for me that she gets pretty much rewarded with another platform, right? I don't know the background particulars with Dancing with the Stars. Like, is there money tied to your appearance on the show, or if you get money the longer you stay? Because at the end of the day, it is a game show or a reality show. So I'm sure she gets some kind of stipend beyond some kind of per diem or whatever. But another platform, not even a couple of summers from removed from the college admission testing cheating scandal, admission cheating scandal, and it got me to thinking. I'm like, the privilege, because think about it, right? Who was she prior to the college admission scandal, right? Like, did she come from Disney? Did she come, like, what was her brand to get her, for Dancing with the Stars to be like, yeah, we really need her on this show? Like, everybody else that's part of the cast on for Dancing with the Stars this upcoming season, I believe it's the 20th season, has fame or a brand or something that they bring, and with that they bring viewers, right? The best you could do is social media influencer, which isn't even a title. Like, you're not a movie star. What are your album sales? Like, are you like an Olivia Rodrigo type of person? I don't know. So nothing more than privilege to me, and I just can't get with that. Like, as somebody that has had a hard time with admissions in college, to where, like, I had credits over here at an online school, and before I could be admitted to a community college, I had to take equivalency exams, right? Study for the shit, math, English, science. Didn't understand why I had to do it, because I'm like, I already went through high school, already did some college at this point, but still did it, right? Still did it. And this was a route non-traditional, because the goal was to go from online school that I've been with for about 5 or 6 years, take those credits to a 4-year. I figured, shit, there's more than enough for them to get with that. Don't have a platform, don't have a mother or father that's an actress on an 80s show, don't have a father that's like an executive with a yacht in the Chesapeake Bay. Like, I don't have any of that. And I'd already graduated high school at the age of 17, went to the military, had a whole life that I had lived. Moved around, decided to go back to college to finish this lifelong dream that I had, right? And, wheat thin over here. More than likely did not have any, like, discernible honors or talents scholastically, right, was just white and pretty and probably looked cute in a dress. Um, I don't know if she went to her, if she went to Aunt Becky or Aunt Becky came to her and was like, "Hey, we're gonna try to get you into this Ivy League school," and decides, "Oh, well, sure, let's give it a shot." Gets with this dude over here and devises a plan. And he had been doing this with other kids in the area, right? And this must be a Hidden Hills, California thing, because I ain't never heard no shit like this over here in Maryland. But nevertheless, like, this whole thing, and there were like girls, three or four more girls that were tied to this. And they weren't even like slick about it. Like, you take the exam, you pay somebody to alter your grades to make them look good for college, and we won't get caught. Well, they got caught. So I think her mom got like a year or two of probation, time served or something, and her dad, I don't know what happened, but I guess enough time elapsed in society, people forgot, but my black ass didn't forget. So now she's part of Dancing with the Stars, and I'm like, the cast ain't black enough for me. I mean, it's great that there are people of color in the cast, and I'm not really the guy that's like the gatekeeper for shit like that. But the fact remains that like this girl over here with no like discernible talents, like no brand really, like the scandal itself. I mean, is she going to call this other guy over here? She probably already called him over, before this happened, to see if he could get her admitted to Dancing with the Stars. Like the connections and the legacy and the white privilege, I'm exhausted. Like, I really want somebody to find the receipt for 2021 and return that bitch. Because this is crazy. Like, this could have been, when, we're all cooped up in the house, right? We're all cooped up in the house. We watch TV, there are a lot of us out here that are like eyes glued to the news, the most depressing shit ever. We want to watch some entertaining shit. Maybe I wanted to watch Dancing with the Stars again, right? I haven't watched since I think Patti LaBelle was on, which I believe was after Tamar was on, which Tamar would have cleared, but I understand health reasons she had to bow out. Maybe I wanted to finally watch Dancing with the Stars. Maybe I wanted to see, LeVar Burton, see some Nichelle Nichols, see some, Diana Ross or somebody Dancing with the Stars. Like, I'm all here for Olympic athletes being on Dancing with the Stars. I'm all the way here for veterans being on Dancing with the Stars. I am all here for legitimate underdogs being on Dancing with the Stars. But of all people, her, of all social media influencers, IG employees, her. I like Kenya Moore. Like, sometimes I have a love-hate relationship with her, but I understand what she's doing, and I always understood from day one. She's playing the game, and she does it really well. And she's a tough cookie, which I love and admire. Like, As crazy as society is out here, it's great to see that in other people. So I was really, I read the rest of the article that was circulating because of Twitter. It was an actual article, it wasn't something the Twitter user made up. I was looking at the list of the entire cast that's coming. I was just like, okay. Like, even if these are names I'm not familiar with, I still would have watched. But then I got to Olivia Jade's name and I was like, ooh, I'm at to pass. Because it's like if you're going to cheat to try to get in college, are you going to also try to cheat with Dancing with the Stars? Um, so the best I can give Dancing with the Stars, the most energy I can give them is clips that are circulated about Kenya. And that's about it. Um, so yeah, I'm good on that. Also, there was I didn't even talk about this the last two episodes. There was, or probably still is, advertisement going around about these. I don't know if it's like a tie of some kind, but a full spread circulating out there. It's a clothing design of an actual noose, and they put them on black men that it dangles from the collar area. I know the fuck you lying. What, like, we're past the point of like the ankle bracelet, right? Which very much gives shackles. Then I see that. Then I see, you know, the expansion or different variation of the shackle where it's actually a cup design around the entire ankle, and there's a thick chain that goes across to the other foot with a cup around the ankle. And I'm like, why? Why? Like, ain't no fucking way, boy. Like, I just, like, we have bow ties, we have normal ties, we even have the short ties with that are square in shape, right? Like, who, how? And I'm sure it's, this noose tie thing is not going to go far. I mean, there are a lot of people out here that have probably seen that ad and was just like, yeah, I'm calling the Better Business Bureau because this is some bullshit. We always quick to call Better Business Bureau or 311, right? To report some shit. As our black asses should. But like this it's just wild out here. Like by the time July, August came around, right? By the time July, August came around, there was a calendar type design going around. Had all the months, and under each month was a box. Now, each box leading up to June or July had an image from a story that took the cake that particular month. I believe by the time I saw it, the last image for the month prior was the guy that killed his child's mother and his child and decided to represent himself in court.
If you think I'm here to play around with y'all, God damn it, I'm not. All right, Mr. O'Neill.
And then there was the crate challenge. Not sure what it is this month. It's only the 8th, so I don't know. But we're halfway through the season of the pandemic more. And y'all just really raise the stakes out here in society. I just, y'all are something else. I really got to give it to y'all. I really do. Like, y'all really got this shit on lock. If it's not something that's in the news, it's something that y'all done cooked up that don't make no sense. And share that shit on Twitter like we're supposed to be on board with it. And I'm like, no, I don't know what you call that, but that looks disgusting. No wonder why your stomach sound like a washing machine or a dryer with Timberlands in them. Like, ain't no, I y'all just because it's in your cabinet or your pantry or your cupboard, whatever there is that's left over does not mean it has to go in the same pot, be stirred together, and put on a plate to be eaten. Just saying. Just saying.
Okay, my apologies, Miss Girl.
Some more news. Over the weekend, probably late last week, it was officially announced that after an arduous battle to get her master's, Anita Baker has achieved getting her master's from all of her albums, from Songstress all the way up to You're My Everything, which I believe was on Blue Note. You know, for a while she had been telling us not to stream her music, but now she's telling us because she owns her masters. But the gag is, her music has been on Apple for a while, but it has yet to be on Spotify in all its glory. And mind you, like, I've had a love-hate relationship with Apple because their streaming isn't the best. And when you go to buy albums, I run into issues with some of the tracks. Like, they don't play all the way through. So I've had heat, static for Apple for at least a good 6 or 7 years. And I'm sick of them. So I've been on the Spotify bandwagon for a while. And I need those albums. I need to get on my white neighbor's nerves with a full 7-minute rendition of Fairy Tales because I sings down with the windows open. Fairy Tales. Live with the scatting, the boobity-ya, all that. I need Rhythm of Love. I need Talk to Me compositions. I need Giving You the Best That I Got. I need all of that for my Sunday cleaning. And it makes me sick that we are going into week 2 of Anita Baker Less Miss on Spotify. Spotify, if you're listening, I'm gonna need that. Because Anita Baker is the truth. And I don't want to have to keep going to Apple to play the music because it's spotty over there. It's like being in the Cricket store with a Cricket phone when I go over to Apple. It's like, I know I pay my internet bill. I know I pay my phone bill. I know I'm literally sitting on top of the router. Y'all can't give me my whole song for $1. Y'all can't give me my whole album for $16. Mind you, they charge more than when you go into FYE or, well, Sam Goody's not around anymore, or Target the week of and pay $8 or $9 for an album, and you get the whole album, no incomplete tracks, all the songs play, there's no skipping, no scratching. But I take my little $6 or my iTunes gift card to the store on Apple, and y'all play in front of my face. Ooh. Y'all play in front of my face, and that's not cool. And I tagged Spotify in Anita Baker's tweet about her owning her masters. I said, y'all need to get on this, because right now what we have is a Christmas album and that one song, that one cover she did of the Tyrese song back in 2012, which slaps. Y'all need to get Songstress, Rapture, Give Me the Best That I Got, Compositions, Rhythm of Love, You're My Everything on Spotify. I mean, I think the best of Anita Baker's on there, but y'all got most of the songs on that track list and grayed out. Fuck God! Now, for those of you who don't know or get why it's so important who Anita Baker is, let me tell you. Anita Baker started out in the late 70s. She's been at this since her early 20s, right? She's what you get when you mix a little Dinah Washington with a little Sarah Vaughan, but in the Quiet Storm realm, right? You know, for a while now, I think it was my idea, matter of fact. Anita Baker versus Sade versus. Oh, that would break the internet. But nevertheless, for about 15, 20 some odd years, Anita Baker went from kind of hitting it, not on a grand scale, but kind of moving around locally in the Detroit music scene, right? Doing, supper clubs and playing, with bands and stuff. Getting an opportunity on like a local label that didn't have like international distribution, kind of being discovered and trying out for a group on a local label that was like a subsidiary of a bigger label. Album doesn't hit, label gets files for bankruptcy or whatever, classic tale. Group breaks up, she goes back to Detroit, to Michigan, Grosse Pointe, comes a secretary during the day, does little gigs at night. Fast forward to about 1983, 84. She did an album in the late 70s after Chapter 8 broke up or disbanded or whatever. Really didn't go anywhere because, like I said, the label had folded. It's really about happenstance at this point. Gets discovered by or gets recommended by a sideman instrumentalist, and gets with a bigger label. Her sophomore album. See, this is what a lot of people. This is the ignorance that I'm talking about. When people think a person's first album to go big is their debut when it's not. For example, for a short while, thank God it was a short while, it should have been shorter, a lot of people thought Off the Wall was Michael Jackson's first solo album. When Michael Jackson's first solo album was in 71, not in 79. But because that's his first album to go big, and first solo album to go really big, I understand that. I'm going to clear this up. Rapture is not Anita Baker's first album. For those of us that are fans, real fans, Songstress is her first album. And this is, so the original album cover, she had a tiny little Police Academy afro. When her label that she signed with when she was doing really big with Rapture and stuff. I believe they bought the rights back for that album and put a new album cover on it, which was essentially her performing live. She had her short cut, and they updated the album cover. Okay, so Rapture is a big deal, like awesome album. This is back when they were doing like 9 songs on an album, and that's all you needed. She had a shortcut. It sold about 8 to 9 million albums. Well on her way. 2 years or so later, she releases "Giving You the Best That I Got." Oh, the song is so cute. Oh, I love it. Anita Baker, what makes her amazing besides the fact of the music? Her phrasing, her voice, strong, supple alto. Contralto, if you want to be technical. The way she wraps her voice around a lyric, and she has an emotional resonance in her voice. Amazing. We joke and we play on this little Bird app about how our parents would always put her music on a Sunday or a Saturday, whatever day of the weekend your parents or relatives did chores in their house, and told your ass to get up just because. I made a TikTok about that, which I think I'll add to the end of this video. Like, amazing. And, while her span of acclaim and recognition was relatively brief. I mean, it was from 84, 85 to 94 that she just was knocking out the park. Music is timeless. Can't say that for a lot of people. She really, there is not one bad song in her catalog. Like, you can do deep cuts and still walk away with some bangers. And she is reminiscent of a time, her and Sade alike, similar styles, even though they're from 2 different countries and it's 2 different kind of sounds. Anita Baker, she puts her foot into a song and she makes it sound so easy, but it's not. And it's funny that in her beginnings, she was rejected, countless times because, a lot of labels didn't think she could sing. They said the same thing about Patti LaBelle. But the thing about music and voices and vocality and all that other stuff, it's subjective. It may not be everybody's cup of tea, but Anita Baker resonates with a lot of people and connects with a lot of people. It's not about being in the vicinity vocally with a Whitney Houston, with a Mariah Carey, or an Aretha Franklin. It's all about how you touch people. And Anita Baker does that. And is still doing that. And I'm so glad she got her masters back. Y'all need to get into Anita Baker right away. If you haven't done it before, you need to now. A very special premier female vocalist that, while she sold well during her time, she didn't sell as big as a Whitney during that time, or sell as big as an Aretha during her heyday. But she definitely is a standout from the 80s. Her, Stephanie Mills, Phyllis Hyman, Regina Belle, who else? Chaka Khan, of course, her solo stuff. Mickey Howard. Just to name a few. Who sold steady, and made albums. Didn't go into the studio just to make singles, but you can put an album on and just play it straight through, and just have a whole experience. So that's why Anita Baker is very important, and I'm so glad. But I'm gonna need Spotify to be quicker on their uptake and have all of her material and her entire catalog on Spotify, so I can be jamming and irritate the living fuck out of my white neighbors. I got a neighbor downstairs who, for like the first month or so of living here, thought the 8, 9, 10 a.m. hour in the morning was the perfect time to play bass heavy white people music. Mind you, this building is old. I don't need that. Some of us are working from home. He finally stopped after I left him a note. But damn. Why? So I can't wait to break out my Pine Sol, or my Ajax, or my Comet, and my wood grain cleaner. Blast this Anita Baker all up and through while I'm cleaning, and get on my white people neighbor nerves. I'm gonna be in heaven. I sings down fairy tales. I might bless y'all with that if and when that album makes it to Spotify. Y'all, I mean, when Compositions came out, people don't talk about that album enough. You know, a lot of people talk about Rapture, as they should. A lot of people talk about Rhythm of Love, Body and Soul, all that. Giving you the best I got. But Compositions, you want to talk about an album that gets no skips? She was in her jazz bag for that. In her jazz bag. Damn, Pat Sajak mic was falling. So that's why Anita Baker is iconic, and y'all need to get into her. And why I will not stand any slander all up and through. Before I get off of this Bird app, did y'all see the trailer, little clip of Roland Ray's return to divorce court?
Return of an all-star.
Mr. Raymond Harper, also known as Rolling Ray.
Divorce.
Now, once upon a time, I used to think the court shows and the talk show appearances and stuff were real. I was like very young. Then I realized, I believe some of these shows pay people, because ain't no way. And then, you know, Roland Ray has been on divorce court once before with Judge Toller. A train wreck mess. Like, he had his red high top fade. His witness had the yellow Big Bird afro kind of thing. And apparently he was divorcing a guy they were in their 20s or something. Very funny. Once it wasn't going his way, they were clowning the guy on the defendant's side and the guy's witness. In this clip, no words. Just no words. He should be coming back. He's probably the premiere episode of the new season this month. Wow. There just are no words. So this is Mr. Fox of the I Refuse podcast. I had to get on here and talk about that for a little bit. I mentioned Roland Ray last season on the podcast. The second season on streaming. It was on the Boys Club Part 2 streaming episode that's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll get into it. I had two very special guest, women on the episode. And then in the midst of getting caught up with each other because we had all been separated because of COVID, I started impersonating Roland Ray. Oh, look. Oh, look at the shoes. Oh, look. It's a little early. I don't. Throat's a little dry. But that's as good as it's going to get right now. So, Roland Ray is coming back on divorce court. He has longer nails. He has longer hair. Looking like one of Will's aunts on The Fresh Prince. And I'm living. And I'm sure it's going to be another hot mess. And I'm sure I'm going to be talking about it later. But I had to get on here. And it's funny to me that, like, a lot of people that I know did not know who that was. If you've seen Catfish, he's probably one of the more well-knowns from Catfish. Just as well-known as Max and Neve. And he was a mess on there, too. Roland Ray is from D.C., lives in DC still, and you know he does the rap thing. He's on, I think, TikTok a lot. He used to be on Vine, and he's on Instagram. Just a hot mess, and I love it. Like, he's a Virgo just like me, and every once in a while that side of me comes out. I think only after like a couple of margaritas, I haven't had a Long Island iced tea in a while, but you get the gist. If I'm having a good time, that part does come out of me where I'm just goofy and silly and just extra. Roland Ray is a good time. I'm not gonna lie. He's a good time. You get him going, he will lay you out. If y'all remember, y'all probably don't. He had jumped on live, a girl's live, and she was looking at him like she didn't know who it was. And for like the first 2 or 3 minutes, they were just staring at each other. And she wasn't blinking. He wasn't blinking. He was trying to be nice to the girl, but she was just like agitated and livid for some reason. And at some point, he started to roast her ass, but also like threw in a couple of compliments like, "I'm a Virgo, you a Scorpio. We got more in common. We shouldn't be fighting. We should be fighting. We should be fighting. I'm a Virgo, you're a Scorpio, you're my sister." She was like, "Yo, why are you on here?" Another hot mouse. So, I don't know. I really don't know how it's gonna go. It's gonna be a mess. They got a different judge this time. Divorce court initially started with Judge Ephraim, and then when the contract didn't go right, which I understand, it's like if the money's funny, I'm gone. Then they got Judge Toller, and she'd been doing it for a long while. Now they got a different judge. I guess this is like a reboot. I don't know, but they got money, and it's looking like a hot mess. Like, he looked like one of the backup dancers on Sister Act in the Vegas show. So I can't wait for the mess. Just remember that your mental health and your self-care comes first. Arguing with people on Twitter and arguing in the comment section is probably a new form of deficiency. Like, it's so much more you can be doing. So many other things that you could be doing. I'm just not. I don't know. Just read a book, fly a kite, build a sandcastle, paint your house, do some gardening like I started doing last year. Drink lots of water. And most importantly, mind the business that pays you. We're about 2 weeks into September. Can't wait what the fuck's gonna go off next week. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Wow. This is the I Refuse podcast. This is Mr. Fox. Have a great day, bitches. And I'm out.